My name is G.I. Sanders, and I'm co-owner, and I also handle client relations and marketing for fancore.com. We are a street team management application for artists and labels to effectively manage and track a street team.
Okay, so what does that even mean?
Exactly. Let's say these days you got to have a street team, so we provide the online piece of software basically for you to keep communication with your team and actively track what they're doing so you can actually tell they're effective. And a street team is, of course, a volunteer base. Hopefully your most passionate fans who are really going to go the extra mile to help you out. Things like putting posters up in record stores, spreading a widget online, all those things are, as simple as just telling their friends. That's a street team, and these days it's obviously more important than ever to have those people on your side. Every day as the industry shrinks, you've got to have your own marketing people in place, and a street rep program, street team, whatever you want to call it, is just becoming more and more important every day. Put it this way, if you see an advertisement for a movie on TV, it's like, oh, it kind of looks cool, but if I'm your friend and I tell you, I just saw that movie, it's great, go check it out, what's more likely to get you into the theater? Exactly. It's one-on-one, word-to-mouth, grassroots. It means everything. It's so much more important than, even though you saw that ad, that's an impression on you, but it's not really a quality impression. What we provide is quality impressions because the peer-to-peer marketing is just where it's going, and that actually, I have the ability to tell you a little bit more info rather than you just seeing the name of the band or the name of the movie, that type of thing. We're an artist service. There's lots of artist services out there. We're not trying to compete with anybody. We're trying to be the best at our niche, which is street team management. So a site like MySpace, bands got to have it. Facebook got to have it. A band website got to have it. Email list, you got to have all those things. You also need a street team. So we provide a way for bands to have a street team and actually manage it. And they don't have to do it in their email. They don't have to do it on MySpace. Those things are very ineffective as far as communication goes. They're very one-sided. You send out, a mass email blast to 500 kids. What if 200 of them respond to you? It's like, what are you going to do? Respond to all 200 emails? Same with MySpace. You send out a bulletin or whatever. That's great. It's going to come flooding back to you. So it's very hard to manage those things. So within our system, communication is really important. Within any street team, or even just managing any people, just managing people in general, you got to have communication first and foremost. Yeah, it's real easy. I mean, you can go to our website, you can sign up for a site. It's a monthly subscription service, and we're really proud of the fact that bands of all sizes can use it. For $15 a month, you can start out on our site. So we've got local bands, independent bands who are just starting out using our site to just start building their street team, all the way up to bands like Maroon 5 and Erykah Badu and huge international stars using our software as well to manage their street team. So it's every level in between there. They need it after they have a little base going. You want to get your legs up a little bit. You got to have something to promote first. You don't have any gigs yet. You don't have any album yet at all. It's like, well, what are your street teamers going to promote? So once you have anything that you need to get the word out about, that's when you need a street team. Even just as small as your friends or your family, stuff like that. Get them involved, and within our system, you can provide them with the content that they're going to need to go spread the word about. And again, track their task and their activity, so that as things do grow and you do get 50, 100, a couple thousand members, that it's all within one place, so you can easily log in for 15, 30 minutes a day or every other day and bang it out and manage your team, instead of having to spend lots of time with Excel spreadsheets and in your Outlook and on Google searching locations. All that's within our site. The most normal thing we hear is, you talk to bands all the time, it's like, do you have a street team? I'm like, yeah. We got 500 kids on our email list, and it's just an email list, and that's one-sided communication, and it's very hard to manage. So the thing we hear the most is that it's just an email list, and then we hear that you manage it on MySpace, and I kind of already mentioned, it's like using those things is just really hard to manage it effectively. Those things are really one-sided communication, and not only that, if I'm on a street team and I just get an email from the main person, it's like, how is that a team? I have no idea who else exists. Within our system, there's chat rooms, forums, the ability to post photo galleries and everything, so it actually encourages the team environment. Same with the MySpace page. You can go on a band's MySpace page, you can get a lot of information, but how do you know who else is on there? You have to go through teams, contact them one-on-one. There's no public place. So within our system, it's a real exclusive community where it encourages that team environment. It's a piece of the puzzle. The street team is not going to replace radio ads and radio marketing and online banners and all that stuff. It's one piece of the marketing package. And again, as the industry shrinks, it's becoming more and more and more important for everybody, for independents all the way up to majors. So yeah, it's not going to replace overall marketing campaigns, but it's one piece of the budget that you got to have in there. Starts with a good idea, obviously. Do a lot of research. Spend a lot of time researching what else is out there. Because the last thing you want to do is try and reinvent the wheel. If someone's already doing it and doing it well, you're going to be way behind starting out. But there are a lot of bands, and there are going to continue to be a lot of bands, regardless of what happens in the industry. There's no way that Guitar Center is ever going to go out of business. There are always going to be kids who want to be rock stars. They're always going to start bands in high school. That's never going to change. So regardless of, do your research and find out what else is out there, and have a good idea and be passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, then it's probably not a good idea to go in that direction. Myself and co-owner, a guy named Mike Swinford. Mike actually managed my band for years and manages several other bands still today. We actually created the entire concept out of our own need for it. He needed it for the bands he managed, which was my band, and I needed it for my band as well. We went out there, tried to find some sort of application, a piece of software, anything that would help us manage these people who wanted to help. We had, in our Outlook folders, we had thousands of email submissions to join our street team. It's like, what do we do with them? We just blast them out on an email list? What's that going to do for us? We don't know if they're really working. We just email them all posters, and it's just a waste of money. Like, who knows how many of them end up in their room or in a dumpster, So we went out there, tried to find it, couldn't find anything even close to what we were really looking for that encompassed, the entire package. And especially we couldn't find it for the budget we had. So we found some developers who are now partners in the company as well, and just totally built it from scratch. Started a couple years back. The first 2 years was solid, just development. Went live at the beginning of 2007, and it's been great so far. It's been great. We've got about 400 different artists and labels, and some nonprofit agencies, different companies like that already using the site. And again, we've got tons of independent artists, local bands using for smaller teams all the way up to major label bands. So it's great. More and more, it's going viral, of course. Even just a few years ago, and especially 5-10 years ago, when anyone said street team, immediately it was like you just think of kids on the street passing out flyers. That's great. You still got to have that. But more and more now, it's all about social networking and actually being online, getting your friends, your fans, your street teamers to spread the word online, to get people to send traffic to your sites, to get those listens, get those impressions. So as the industry has changed, it's actually been great for us because, again, and it's great for a lot of other companies like us who are artist services, because as the bigger labels start disappearing and it starts trickling down, the smaller companies like us who are offering marketing and promotioning services are becoming more and more important every day. The days of huge advances for bands are over. They really are. So it's going to be all about your touring base, your merch base, really building those up, and something like a street team is only going to really make those things excel. You got to get those people out promoting your gigs, promoting your merch, all that type of stuff. I think you definitely got to be passionate about it and just accept the fact that you're going to put in a lot of sweat equity. You're going to put in a ton of after hours to make it happen, because until you get to the point where your revenue stream is up there enough to where you can quit your day job, you're going to be working 2 jobs. So you're going to be putting in a ton amount of time to get things off the ground until you get your revenue up enough to where you can either go full-time yourself or hire some employees to get the revenue up. So just be ready to work a lot. There's plenty of companies out there who will fund great ideas, and that's awesome. So you definitely want to explore that too. But at the same time, don't just stay on the path regardless of that, regardless of going out and getting funding, and it'll certainly help your cause, but don't let it stand in the way from the idea that you want to represent. We have one angel investor who's come in, is a partner in the company now, but we don't have any back-end investment yet other than that. So we're really just growing organically. Yeah, when we've got our revenue stream up enough to where we are a functioning company. We're still only 8 or 10 people strong, an all virtual office still, which is great, keeping costs down. You just have to make sure and make sure everyone who's working for you and working with you is really effective. And again, I keep saying passionate about it, but that's the key. It's like you got to find people who believe in the idea and believe that they're gonna make a future out of this if they work their asses off.